Hello and welcome. Well, I went and did it again. I bought another Corvair. I must have the beginnings of an addiction or something with the 68 parts car and the 67 Coupe. This obviously is a convertible. And yeah, no brakes. I'll address that shortly. So the guy that I bought this from bought it from an auction down in Massachusetts, and I'm in Maine. And I think a prior owner was planning on a paint job at the very least, because there's a lot of this fiberglass strand Bondo involved. The whole door on the driver's side was primered and patched, and I was curious to see just how much Bondo was actually needed. Surprisingly little for such a big patch that was on it. I guess it's one of those deals where you put more than you want and then you sand most of it off. As you can see, she is topless. Quite a brazen young lady at 60. Yeah, definitely need to clean up the interior. As you can see from the dash, it's a Monza. And it's got a 3 on the floor, or a 3 on what is left of the floor. In the short term, I'm going to fiberglass it, but I am going to get some panels to replace it. I'm going to take just a moment here to interject a voiceover. After I recorded the video, I changed my mind about the floors. Instead of fiberglassing them for the short term, I'm going to weld in some new floor pans. So I ordered a pair for the front only, as the rears are okay. I bought them from California Corvair Parts Inc., with whom I have no affiliation. Back to the video. The upholstery on the front seats is splitting in the seams in a couple of places. Luckily, I have not yet installed the seat covers I bought for the Coupe, so I'll put them on this. The glove box is locked shut, although I don't know technically if it's locked shut if there's no lock. I tried finagling in there with a screwdriver and a pick, and nothing worked. So I'm going to have to resort to plan B. A drill bit. I mean, who knows what treasures are in there? There could be a 1966 owner's manual. I don't know, receipts for work done. Maybe an ancient pack of Pall Malls. Who knows? And, oh, where is the top? Missing in action. In the short term, she's going to be a roadster, and I'm going to put some more of these little clip dingleberries in. There is this trim panel. I'm a little hesitant to put that on until such time as I'm ready to reinstall a top, just in principle. It's got Corvair wheels, which, yeah, they've seen better days, but then again, this is not a museum piece. Yesterday, I reinstalled the headlights. It took a while to get them running. Jesus, whoever did all this really did a number on some of the wiring. And wiring is not terribly difficult. It's just, in my view, tedious. Box O trim and parts. It looks like everything's in there that I'm going to need. And a new, or relatively new, single pot reservoir. So the sign on the, the writing on the windshield says no brakes. Well, I don't know if it's just because there's one line missing, or if there's a hard line missing, or what. But just in case, I will show you some of my toys. Because they were in stock, I went to AutoZone and bought 4 of the flexible brake hoses. I figure, you know, even if it's just one of them that's gone, obviously with a single reservoir system, you lose everything. And if I'm going to replace one, well, I mean, they're all 60 years old. Might just as well replace all 4. And a little bit of rust down here on the passenger door and the bottom of the front fender. And both of the front corners. You know, they want like $230 for one of these patch panels. The hell with that. I'm going to make some. It's not that difficult. It just takes time and patience. And, well, at least I have the time. And again, I'll make a little patch panel for that. Here's something that's kind of interesting. This grill panel is burgundy, not the original red according to the tag under the engine cover. And it doesn't show up in 2D, but the original color of this hood was blue. So the hood and that cowl vent have been replaced at some point. Oh well, as long as it's got something, I can work with it. And the front lock is missing in action, but those are like $15, so I'll get a new one. In fact, it's already ordered. I'm gonna make a new panel for this area, like from here up. Because again, I'm not spending several $100s on it. I only paid $1,200 for the whole car. So, you know, there are limits. And here are the bumpers. They're both in reasonably good condition for their ages, although the front one is from the spares that was included with the coupe. The stock one for the convertible had a big old dent in it, and I'm thinking that may have something to do with the change of the hood and the cowl. Who knows? And of course, the big question is, what's back here? Get up there. There's the engine. It runs really well. Starts first time every time so far. It's just your standard 110. And of course, if you're into Corvairs, you know that name. Somebody bodged in an additional fuel filter. Honestly, I thought about doing that with the coupe. Just because I like to see what's happening. Plus, it gives me a chance to see if there's any garbage coming through the lines from the original tank there. And the plate. Ooh, what else? She needs shocks. Well, there are still a few areas of concern that I didn't address yet. This is one of them. It's the mounting plate for the counterweight. And yeah, it's in pretty sorry shape, but I'm confident that I can weld up a new plate. I mean, gosh, it doesn't seem to be any simpler than flat metal. And you may have noticed on the way in there that the battery ground is disconnected. I had to recharge it. It was only 3 days old, and it went flat overnight. Somewhere I've got a slow drain. So, oh, joy of joys, I get to try and find that. This is going to be so much fun. The plate for the passenger side counterweight is in good shape, although you can see there's a little bit of daylight poking through up there. I can deal with it. I am going to need to get a new weather strip for the engine bay. 60-year-old car, you got to expect stuff like that. I'm not really too worried about it. And overall, I think the hind end of the car is in pretty good shape. As far as my long-term plans for this car go, I think I'm going to go with as bright a red as I can put on it. At least partially, because then I won't have to do the door jambs and under the hood and the engine lid. I was thinking what would be kind of fun, hear me out, would be to run a couple of like SS style bright blue stripes down the hood, and in between them white, and then I'd have a red, white, and blue kind of patriotic theme going on. Just a little something to set it apart from the crowd. Although up here where I live, you're not going to see a lot of these anyway. So I hope you had fun. I know I'm going to. And thanks so much for watching. I do appreciate that. Goodbye and have a wonderful day.